Hello everyone, I'm SCP-Man11 and I have the power of Google Slides. And today we're doing an SCP Rbreach guide, so yay. Uh, Today what are we going to be talking about? But if you read the title, we're doing tips on how to counter exploiters in Rbreach. Now keep in mind, not all these tips will save you from an exploiter, but they might give you the advantage over them, or just like the upper hand, as I should say. But I may, in some points, refer to tips as tactics in this guide, so be aware of that. And also, sorry for not uploading for 2 days. I've been doing other stuff, I guess, and it's getting really hard to come up with video ideas. So if you have any video ideas, leave them in the description as the clock becomes an annoyance, like always. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can very much hear it. It's annoying. But let's just start. So number 1, stay away from walls. Exploiters that can no-clip can shoot you when they come out of the wall, which they relatively use as cover. To counter this, stand away from the wall. If an exploiter that can no-clip is in your server, it is best to stay on the surface because there you can stay away from the walls, and this is also relatively open, lowering the exploiter's effectiveness at killing you. I have no idea if that one's true, but they still have a chance of killing you. This strategy will work best if the exploiter has equipped a shotgun or a weapon that is inaccurate. This tactic won't always work, but it is good to keep in mind. Number 2, don't complain about there being an exploiter. I hate when Rbreach players do this. I feel embarrassed for them. They just look like a fool, I'm gonna be honest. Now, I know this is hard for some of you SCP Rbreach players, but it's best to not complain about exploiters. Calling them names and saying they're fatherless isn't going to help with anything. I am fatherless, by the way. You are only giving them what they want, which is attention. They may be exploiting, but that just because they are exploiting does not mean you have the right to call them names and such. Exploiters are there to ruin your day. Try to keep quiet when exploiters are in your server. Report them rather than being toxic. If you're being toxic, I guess you're being as good as a fool as they are. And that's basically the truth. Stop being toxic to exploiters. They may be exploiting, but stop being toxic to them. You're only giving them what they want. But on to our next tip, which is use an accurate weapon. Yay. So some exploiters like to fly around and such, and use no-clip, which I haven't mentioned fly hacking and others, like the last 2 tips, but they can fly hack. If you can use a weapon that is pretty accurate, if you can manage to predict and picture their next move, you're more likely to hit a shot on them than they'll hit a shot on you. I recommend you using the Mossberg 500-S. It's a shotgun and probably the best shotgun in my opinion, and best weapon in the game in my opinion. It shines in close quarters, but you should try to stay in open areas as much as you can if they are no-clipping or flying. Any weapon may work in these situations, but I 99% recommend the Mossberg 500-S. It's just a good weapon in general. Also, if you're in a tight hallway, have the double barrel equipped since your space is so tight and the double barrel can deal up to 96 damage. You can possibly wipe out the exploiter with this before they can react. Next tip, be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of your surroundings. If you last saw an exploiter somewhere in your general area a few seconds ago, it's best you run, or in some cases stay there for like a few seconds, I guess. Just be aware of the exploiter's existence. If the exploiter is after you, be aware of what is around you. Maybe try using the environment around you to your advantage if engaging with an exploiter. Number 5, always be moving. This one should explain itself. Always be moving near and never be in a straight line. If an exploiter is coming at you and you're moving like crazy, you may be harder to hit if an exploiter isn't using an aimbot. By moving around and maybe firing your weapon while you are, you make it significantly harder for the exploiter to kill you. Also, never stand still, not even when you're picking up an item. If you run and click at the item at the right time whilst running, you pick the item up. Congrats! Without having to stand still, which I will demonstrate how to do in a future video, which is quite a hard tactic thing to pull off, but it is. Once you get the hang of it, it's quite easy. Number 6, leave the server. Leaving the server is the most effective thing you can do to avoid an exploiter. Just join another server or play a different game for the moment. I guarantee you they won't stay that long due to moderators and anti-cheat existing. Another thing you may do is to stay in the server and not be in the join queue, so you don't have to play a match with an exploiter. But leaving the server is much more effective. Just make sure you wait 10 to 20 minutes if you're planning to join the same server again, because that time the exploiter may be banned. And number 7, report them, which is what you should have done from the start, if any of you haven't, instead of being toxic. Reporting the exploiter is the second to third most effective thing you can do against them. I personally don't report exploiters since I tend to stay out of this situation and not get involved, but if you don't want to do that, I don't blame you. Just reporting them may make it so they get permanently banned from Rbreach. Just be careful that you don't false report, else you'll be ruining someone else's day rather than the exploiter's day. When if you have reported the exploiter, it will take some time for the mods or anti-cheat to kick the player or exploiter, so hang in there or just leave the server. And I do not know how the reporting system works because I haven't done any research in it, but if you do, congrats. And that's all, folks. Thanks for watching. This video may be helpful to you, it may not be. If you're watching this video and you're an exploiter, you really have no reason to be here, I guess. But yeah. Sorry for not uploading. If you have any suggestions for guides on Rbreach or maybe Project SCP, leave them in the comments. And I'll probably do a special on 087B. I'll probably do that at night, but I just fall asleep. And yeah. Anyways, with that all out of the way, farewell.